My DNA says that we are related to members of our clan who had been adopted in or were illegitimate. Ooh.
Dun, dun, dun.
Can we wear clan colors, or do we need to choose something else?
So, he doesn't know. Could be bastard child, could be regular child, just adopted kind of thing. Don't know.
There's a mismatch of grandparent people apparently at some point in the past.
Yes. The short answer is sure. Wear what you like. Broadly speaking, do you have to be blood related to a particular clan to wear a particular clan? No. I would even go so far as to say, I'll probably go further, but a sept, for instance, of a clan isn't necessarily blood related to the clan. So the fact that you were adopted into the clan, or even if you weren't adopted, it was just, your I'm going to make things up. Your great ex-grandmom had an affair with somebody and, never told great-great-grandpop, and great-great-great-grandfather was born. So, great-great-grandpop raised him anyway. Great-great-grandmom raised him. And if they didn't know, there's nothing saying you aren't part of the thing. Like, it's not some, big secret that all of a sudden you're kicked out of said clan. And you're still, part of the clan. So, yeah. I'd say I wouldn't worry about it. I'd still wear the clan tartan if I wanted to wear the clan tartan.
Yep. I don't really have anything to add. I mean, but to borrow a phrase from my indigenous friends, it's not a blood quantum thing. Okay? Historically, a clan was pretty loose because it was more about politics and military protection and coordination than it was about blood relations. I mean, you very definitely had a differentiation between the bloodline of the chief specific directly, but even that is later because originally you would elect new chiefs. In most clans at least, it was down to an election process, not an inheritance. So yeah, we're talking about association of convenience above all else, practical things, tribal things, practicality. So if anything, I think it just makes the story more interesting. You have more conversation points when you're talking about your connection with people over a pint, basically. Yeah. I'm going to interrupt for a second and just remind you that we would appreciate it if you could like and subscribe and ring the bell for notifications. Give us all that good algorithmic love, okay? All right.
I'm reminded of our buddy Bill Whelan when he was here, our friend from Scotland. He used to work at House of Edgar. When I was talking to him, he literally said, well, the joke in Scotland is you wear your mother's tartan because you always know who your mother is. You don't necessarily know who your dad is.
Anyway, it was mum because he says you never know who your father is actually, but you know your mum.
This is kind of case in point for that.
Yeah.
So it's still back in the same family tree. Yeah, and I would even say, especially if it was an adoptive thing, not just an illegitimate child thing, but if it was an adopted thing where let's say your great-great-grandfather knew that there was some infidelity or your great-great-grandma had a child from a previous marriage and da-da-da-da, and your great-great-grandfather adopted your great-grandfather. Great. Then it's adoption. So it's officially within the clan. No, it's not through blood, but it's by choice. And you could actually argue that by your great-great-grandfather saying, no, I'm officially adopting you. I'm inviting you into my family. I'm accepting you legally as well as emotionally. Then great. You are as much a member of the family as anybody else.
Yeah.
Because it's not just by chance, it's by choice. So there.
So it's fine.
Yeah.
Honestly, they didn't worry as much about illegitimacy in the pre-modern age as they did 19th century and going forward. It's just everybody knew it happened. It just happened. So the bottom line was you need to find somebody to take care of the kid. Okay. If you got that covered, fine. And it's just, again, very pragmatic, practical people. You just rolled with it. I think your point about septs is very important too, because honestly, septs in the modern age have become very, and again, I'm talking Victorian period when I'm talking modern age, became very abstract, shall we say. You had clans going out and claiming names for septs because It helped their numbers, so they got better clout in various social ways, various economic ways. So, like in the Victorian age, you had all these people claiming like Smith. It was like, no, you can't have all the Smiths. Those Smiths are mine. You know, it's like you have these odd septs, some of which where the names barely appear in Scotland itself. But nope, they're all septs of our clan. They're ours. Can you prove it? Yes, just not today. Yeah, so it's fine. Don't let perfection get in the way of you expressing your heritage.
And as a wise man once said, I'm trying to paraphrase myself from the opening. It's your expression of your heritage. So this is now part of your story. The fact that you have this in your own personal family story,
right,
then it's just part of the story. So no one's expression of your family heritage is correct or incorrect. It's yours. It's the way you choose to express it. It's the way you choose to celebrate it. So if you are celebrating it with that particular clan tartan, have at it. If you want to choose a different tartan or a different, angle to the story, have at that as well.
Yeah, if for some reason you feel weird about it, I would say you could still go with a district tartan, or some other options there in other places of your family line, or you could just add those on just for fun. Again, people get way too caught up in the particulars of this kind of thing.
Yep.
Hey, thanks for watching. Genealogy is messy. It's not a straight line. It is a family tree for a reason. Nobody's genealogy is going to be that cut and dried, unless you're a direct descendant of a clan chief. So don't let perfection be the enemy of the good. If you have an interesting thing you found out in your personal genealogy, tell us in the comments. Share that story because the stories are where it's at. Absolutely.